So for the last 13 years, we've raised goats on our little 1-acre plot here in Arizona. And for the first good half of it, we just had a couple does that we bred every year so that we could have milk for our family. And for a long time, that was great. It wasn't until we had Willow, who suffered from some leg problems, and then by our mistake, we didn't really realize that it was genetic, and so we bred her and it popped up in her babies as well. At that point, I realized I really needed to make sure that I was breeding good quality goats and not just ones that had great personalities or had even just a lot of milk. Because the longevity and the happiness and the health of a goat depends a lot on how their body structure is. A goat that has nice strong legs and nice body capacity is a goat that is going to live a long time, be able to be bred. Some goats just aren't great for breeding, and I sort of learned that the hard way. So now it comes to making decisions every year on who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. As you guys know, we're always gonna keep Luna, Willow, and Tilly here. That's a given. They were some of the first goats that we brought here, and I just happen to have an attachment to them. I don't want them to go. So that leaves all the rest up for the option of staying or going, depending on which line we want to breed out of. So we have a couple of our own bucks. We bred them this year to our does, and now we have a bunch of babies to raise up. A lot of these doelings are adorable, and the plan so far is to raise them up and see how they do. But when I say raise them up, I don't mean keep them. I mean raise them up and really see which body type is the strongest and the healthiest. A lot of what we're doing is what happens naturally in the wild. You know, you want the strongest to be the ones that keep getting bred. So with that being said, out of all the babies we've had and out of all the mamas we have, I made a decision this week to let 2 of them go. 1 mama and 1 baby. And that is Fern and Rose. Now, not Willow. People get Fern confused with Willow a lot, but Fern is Tilly's daughter from 2019. And in the first year that she freshened, meaning the first year she had an udder, I was almost on the fence of letting her go then. But I talked to a few breeders. They said give her another year and just see if her teat placement or her medial suspensory ligament, which is the ligament right in the middle of the udder, improves, and if that teat placement looks a little bit better. Some of you guys know that bad teat placement in goats can mean more infection in the udder, because teats that stick out and rub against the legs are teats that get a lot more bacteria on them and hence more mastitis, different types of infection. So I held off, kept Fern another year, bred her, and she still had the same udder. One positive is that we bred Fern with Zorro, so I was hoping that maybe little Rose would be an improvement on Fern. But as I've been watching Rose grow up, I realized she really reminds me a lot of Fern's body type, her general body type. The way her hips are, the way her rump is, the way her pasterns are. She doesn't seem to have a lot of the body type characteristics that I see from Zorro. So I'm making a bit of an assumption here, but I'm gonna assume we didn't change too much in the teat placement arena or the body structure arena. I also noticed in Rose that she tends to put weight on easily, like her mother Fern. That's a bit tricky because it makes it difficult to keep her with the rest of the herd, and it shows a potential for hormone problems later in life, so it's not very desirable. When I compare Rose with Raven's teat placement, I see that Raven's is a little bit better. So in the end, that's the line that I decided to try this year. Instead of Fern's genetics, we're gonna take a step back and go with Tilly and Zorro genetics and see how Raven looks later on. So when we choose to let our goats go to new farms, I always try to look for ones who are up for the challenge. You know, I make sure that they know all of the things that are the positives about them and all of the negatives about them so that they know what they're getting and that they can move forward with whatever plans that they have. Fern is super sweet. We've trained her to not kick when milking. We've trained to lead her around so she could be used for showing if that's a possibility. And she's a great mama and a great kidder because she has such a wide rump. But she just has a few traits that I'm not sure I want to continue genetics wise. And what's going to get harder is that as we get better goats, which we do have a really great sampling of goats, it's going to be a lot harder to let them go because there are just a few little traits that I don't want to necessarily keep going down as far as genetics go for us. when I'm making decisions like this, I have to be really careful to not have what they call barn blindness or favoring the ones that have the best personalities. I feel like I already do that with Willow, Luna, and Tilly, so I kind of check that off my list. Okay, for the rest of them now, I need to just look strictly at which genetics do I want to continue. Because my ultimate goal is not to just have pretty goats to show, it's to be able to, when I'm breeding goats, to be able to produce good ones for other families. I want to be really, really proud of what I produce. I want the doelings and the bucklings that go to new homes to be ones that I know are going to improve their genetics, and I'm really proud of passing that on. I can't do that if I keep goats that aren't gonna have those traits. So, I know it's sad. I stressed over it thinking about, should I let them go? Should I not? I really love their personalities. They're super sweet goats, but in the end, I had to let them go. So when it comes down to it, I have to make decisions like this, and I'm gonna continue making decisions like this. These doelings that we're raising up, they're not all gonna stay here. We're gonna choose ones that are the best and let the rest go to homes that want to go ahead and go down that path. So hopefully this gives you more of an insight into why I made that decision. I'm super sad that Fern and Rose will be gone. So I'd love all of you guys to stick around, though I know some of you struggle with it and don't like when I have to rehome goats. So if it's not something that you feel like you want to watch, you might want to look into like sanctuary channels or something like that, because that may be a better fit for you. But I love all my goats. I put so much time and care and energy into all of them. This is how it is, and we're gonna look forward to next year. We're gonna have more babies every year, and we're gonna have to make more decisions. So it's been a fun adventure with Fern and Rose, but we're gonna have to say goodbye to them and move on to all of the other care that we have with all of these other goats. Guys, we are pros now at making pizza. Right, guys? Nobody's listening to me.
Yes. It's really hot. Oh, we gotta put it way over to the edge, ready?
Good job. Okay, Luna, since we've only been caring about babies and we've been neglecting you. Wait, come here, we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna do something.
I know you're mad at us. It's
that
okay.
you've always wanted to do.
I think she's a little bit mad at us right now.
No, she's not gonna go to the Bucks. She gets to come in with us while we make pizza.
She's going right for the tree.
Oh, grab her, grab her.
Look at those. Look at those.
Look, Luna, look at that tree. Yum. Your favorite thing in the whole world.
Give her a scratch.
Oh, we should bring Willow too, since we've sort of been not thinking about Willow lately.
Goats love when they get some stems, and so like sapling stems like this are so good because they're all soft stems.
Yeah, they love like the young trees. Okay.
You can be picky, Willow.
No, she'll eat them.
Wow.
Our two little goofy goats here.
Yeah. They both got weird legs.
They both got leg problems, but hey, they're still cute.
Yeah.
This is kind of good. They'll trim this for us.
I know.
Now, I haven't totally been neglecting them. They still get their hooves trimmed and they still get pets, but we've been so focused on mamas delivering and babies and milking and all that stuff, so it's sort of fun to give them a little treat. Hopefully they stay over there and they don't go over to the avocado and the apple tree. That looks perfect. Uh-oh, Willow's wandering, so Ethan has to herd her back over. Come over here, Willow. Come on, Willow. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. Okay, that was a fun treat. Have a good day.
Now they're gonna go eat more.
Now they're gonna go eat more hay. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We have a lot going on. Kevin and I have to head down to a goat show as we prepare for our own buck show coming up soon. We've got a lot of show training to start with all of these little ones because we're bringing everybody. So it's gonna be fun times. If you wanna go back down memory road and watch the video when Fern was born on our farm, way back in January of 2019, go ahead and click right here.